Go ahead, start.
Well,
Okay.
I'm just getting it cleared up.
Oh,
in
no.
Hello, everybody. How are you this evening? I hope you are settled. I hope you have a beverage or a snack or your dinner in front of you and are all settled in for another fun evening, another hour of language with Ron and his friends. So with us tonight, we have Ron, Janet, Dave, and Marie. I hope everybody's comfy, and I will turn it over to Ron. Welcome.
Bonjour. Vou pedir que não te bacou, né? Que você abre de boca. Não go nem, we depois pin tamen manda ni mijim. Ek te gaan mo. Wat ek te gain. You know what about mo. Going nang want to Jan. Oops.
Okay, so
Take over, Dave.
welcome everybody. Honey Bushel, Wasay Abedition cost. Mine gun do them. Talking don't you pa?
I'll call you later.
Today we're already into the month of May. Wawaskona Jesus. Swat. 3rd of May, Nation Madosvuk, Nishtana Shanish. Nish Gishgat Nungo. Today is Tuesday. On Gosen. It's evening and Nshwaso Debuganet, 8 o'clock. So welcome. And I think because we're getting a little more used to each other and feels okay to share things that are happening in family, I just want to take time to remember my granddaughter. She's in London Hospital, Western Hospital. So just sending good healing energy and positive thoughts to her. Yes, for a good way. Yes. Oh, Miigwech.
Okay, I'll get Murray to do the first paragraph.
Mandala. Wascomess Jesus, the flower moon, also the 5th moon. Plant life energy is full. Time, we get busy in the garden, and plant seeds and put our young plants after the last frost. Flowers are grown either in ground or in pots. Life is abundant. About the time we look for leeks, morels, and fiddleheads.
Bonjour, Kanawiya. Machteo, Nimki, with a she doesn't cost. You in the Gabon, go in doesn't cost. You even pin Dunjaba, Sagin, Squinch Binning. We bought the Manganage, what Bagida'waad, Ganage, no. The topic is about vegetables tonight. We had much time, we've taken so much time. We got badang game, Marie, they could Bobby Toman gain on that frost. We have to wait for that last frost to go. You just go to much time take out the moon. So that's the time that after that last frost, that's when we start to do planting. But we're probably turning the soil at this time. I'm not sure if it's a Tiggy gammon or whatever, however that is. We're turning that soil, flipping it over, and then it's getting it ready for the seeds and the vegetable seeds that we're going to use. Now, where people go fishing, and when they clean their fish, there's some of those things that we need to keep. Like I was looking at a article on Anishinaabemowin over up in the north. They're keeping the smelts. They're keeping the smelts about the heads and everything else. And they used to use that. They said in the old days they would use that for their gardens. Even with fish parts, they would let them go into your garden, and so that richens the soil up, gives it the nutrients what we the plants that we're going to give. And that's some of the things that I remember also, and that's a reminder when I saw that using the fish parts, putting that into the ground. The kit is the earth itself. You just gave on the ordinary much time on. Now, what I'm saying is that's the time when we start planting. But that we have to wait for that frost burst, that last frost. We go again, go we the going on game the we the game again, or hey we you so ground dog hit me again you meet the game I'll see him share. It's my partner reminds me of certain things of the season, like this time of the season. She says there's you'll hear the frogs 3 times. And on the 3rd time, when you finally hear the frogs, that's when the final frost is done. And then you can start planting at that time. So we've heard the frogs 3 times already. I mean, 2 times. So there's one more time there where we hear the frogs come out and sing. And so that, for her, that was something that she was told herself also. So it was interesting when she had shared that with me. So I said, I'm going to keep an eye out for that this year. So when that last frost happens is when we hear them, the frogs again. Last week I heard them, and then I think it was 2 weeks ago, I heard them again at that time. So it's coming to that now. And this is what I'm remembering, and this is what I'm the question just doing I'm wanting to practice the language and at this time. So what we're reading, the article that I have in front of me that we're reading is we do not have many vegetables in our diet. It was after farming and gardening was introduced that vegetables and fruits became more readily and available to us. Fish and game were the main staple, and were healthy because they were healthy. Berries, nuts, and were enjoyable when in season. So there's a lot of or how Neto works, I guess, in that way, how Creator works in that way for us, and keeping our signs, I guess, the signs that were shown when berries are ready or whatever, certain things. And like it says here, we didn't grow corn, beans, squash. Large fields of Anishinaabemowin were grown into the western area of living of the village near to where the gully started and then going eastward. Today, only a handful of plant Indian corn in an effort to get more people interested in harvesting their own gardens. Last year, band programs had provided raised garden materials for band members who ask. This year, it is hoped people will make full use of them. Food security and topics open to discussion: food bank, community garden, saving seeds, heritage seeds. And Gibala the Mage last year, Giba Wijoa, my sister, Kiba mi goewata, wabjitona wata, wiptigewat. Notskanageo Kimina Gazok, they were given wheelbarrows, shovel, topsoil. Topsoil is still another one that's got to come yet. And we'll give out certain amount of that topsoil for these raised garden beds. So Miguel, give out the Magayan through my program also, like just assisting when we're doing the gardening for people, so they can do their own gardening in their own properties also. And the Queja Nadamo Amin Ganage Egypt Tigewat or Wajip Tigewat Ganage go where we're looking to help out the epidemic that's going on and introducing that to these young people that to start working the land. And so when you work with the land, that it kind of gives you back, it gives things back to you, what you got to put into farming or into gardening. What you put into it will come back later on in the season when it's time to harvest. And so we're wanting to work with certain community members that are struggling, introducing that to them. But so we kind of all work together and in our communities and providing that. You can all get I think I'll pass it on to. I will pass it on. I don't know if anybody's out there wanting to know questions or ask. We in the Maya? Anybody out there? No? Okay. Pass it around.
Bonjour. Mascot magazine is the kind of poem, Dorum. Pishkun in the organization cutting. Manasani, Victigawaad, Mabana, the Begizes with marking was Canado, Jesus in a Kadagazet. Bit of a shima. Mamaki Mokiak, Mimgamwat. Even more than much much time. Again, Ism the Magokia when you turn that soil. Ism the Magoka, the air. Not alive. Money, Modzing, good away. Mishmaya Kinakino, Majigrigan in object toing Maya. Never Rabban. Ishnabek, Kinwet now, pain in dying. Kigo. Tagamoi, Neo, wash the shuktigana. Cusa, you salmon, pana. Middags van Pio, je bedoelt snort, mamik. Je opschedelijk. Je monsieur, je min going man dan al niet. Op de cook te geven, ik het ook, maar we zeggen afzoek. Mister, je min going je dan niet, wat is het going, maar ik te geven, je gaat min going je. Mister, je moet staan je. Op China is not talk this now like me again Mavana Indian agent. Me Kaiwan and Nagadwin the sea. Me got Kanandang yo. Kashinayo or Nagisia and my Kihoya Kim woman, wash cash for what was on it. Naga Penayak to buy out. Shall to buy out for the. No sei que posso ter uma homem mismo que bitte geschma que bitte geschna da guckt again geschna mon mi gedok miss aha you must time miss ni iktige up to me. Kaya magic to no Indian agent ka magic to. Kaya apesar women gasuk Krishna kini kahani fakti or pongi min gasuk. Apesar na yun isnagat kwam taman yun kita abre taman abre ko day after day what go buy a again. Ni sigo motion na naktekuni ook. Wat niet peesel, dan kun je in je balk. Je hebt genomen te gaan wat mag pe. Ah, zo dat mag zo komen dus naar weg. Dan men wat je. Als je nou je is geen, je kunt ook te scheel man. Dus ik kijk hem in nou, dan zeg ik, zie me gewoon maar ox. We hebben het dan weer tekenen. Dus nou weg te genomen maar, dan zeg ik. Zo, en wat. Je said you give me this word, no, dat nou zeker. Het was nog eens naar weg. Kijk, dat maar even me na. Ik ook. Zo, give me dat nou, nog zeker. Je moet het gaan. Long time ago. Oh, not too long ago, I just, people from the Paisley area gave an ox to the community. Oh, this is a great thing, the people thought, bringing ox. Oh, what this fine gift, what are we gonna do with this fine gift, they said. I know. So they made a big barbecue, ate that cow. Everybody was real happy. Oh, then Paisley people are good, they said. They ate the ox that was supposed to help them make the garden. They thought it was a gift of food from the Paisley people. Anyhow, we weren't the people like in Saugeen or Ojibwe people mainly lived on hunting, fishing, Kigusel hunting for their provisions for the winter and all that. It's where you see that smoked fish, smoked meat, stuff like that. In the winter time. Yeah, they weren't starving. We were just naturally thin. Oh, and now since we got the Bagida'waad got introduced in their peoples, now we're all big chubby. Not a room for food. So anyhow, kinishin Mario. Me just mump in and go out about him going Mamba Bungi, Mamba thing. Mamba Shmangumina, Jan, and I was about you.
So Gittagan is a garden, a farm, or a field. Gittagan. And then Gittagan, doesn't want to come up.
Get together,
Gittagan is a vegetable.
get together, or
So, Mindaman or
Mamba.
Mundaman?
dominant.
Ah, yes, Daman.
Damnuk. Mobile Anishinaabemowin. Komt er nou nu. We hebben Anishinaabemowin. Daar is dat nu. Kortje. There's a different type of corn here, Mama.
That sweet corn, that one.
Sweet corn. Never was a go. We're really look at that. Anishinaabemowin.
Beans.
Beans.
Sko Gisman.
Oh, we don't have no beans in here. But continue.
You know why?
What?
Those little packets of bean seeds, they're They're frozen in the freezer. I didn't get them out.
Okay.
Supposedly you can freeze seeds if you don't unthaw them for 4 years max.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Supposedly, huh? Okay, squash, Postman, different ways of spelling it. We didn't differentiate between cucumber or gourd, melon, pumpkin, watermelon. It's all Postman, huh? Squash, next is carrot, Jesus,
Right, yeah.
But everybody knows that.
Jesus.
It's a mountain damage in the world. You know, put it here.
Panique,
Beneath. Okay, well, yeah.
Beneath are natural potatoes.
Nebish, cabbage,
Get you, maybe.
big leaves, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take it.
So we gisit to yan, was that get the magi book, gisit thing, but that poor man's soup, we use that one.
Tastes pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Turnip, geez,
Everyone can we get another woman.
Yeah.
geez,
Jeez, yeah.
sounds like cheesiness.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Jesus, yeah.
You love to go on one of the cook.
Onions,
Yes.
yes. Anybody know why they call it that?
Sounds like a skunk.
Sugar, skunk.
Yeah. Oh.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sugar, co-bomb, say, we'll be your mom on call you now, wild leeks. They smell pretty good up. To go, no more good pump say no, that you got caught. Me, you can't run your morals. You got good. Was out to say what?
tomato, chicken,
Oh, mother.
chicken,
Chogan.
chicken.
Everybody's sick. Can I go? Where do you go?
Whatever.
Chogan.
Choke.
Oh, good, mama.
Get your organ.
Mhm.
Get your organ.
Wild rice.
Because I'm not going to the mum, the Zina oil.
Monument.
Is it correct?
Manomen.
No.
No men.
But the buck in it wasn't the king. Rice Lake in the king. Herb Lake, buck in it wasn't the king.
Mushroom
Oh.
was yours quidont.
Yeah, was good.
Was yours quidont?
Aber det då sen jag mig gå sin gonna gå ja. Jag syns att gå ja. Vi går na sapa ju na moral same thing mama. Kan det vara magic igen. Anisha Justine.
Was that? Roof.
Was yours
Was
quidont.
Mama moral.
And there's some that are poisonous too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Particularly
no.
nightshades and cause on.
That are poisoned and it's hollow inside. You can look right up into it. Eh?
Yeah.
You should can when you don't pick those. But the ones that you want to pick, they're solid. It won't be. They're solid right there. That's it.
That's them again.
Oh, wow. I just eat both of them. It's all,
Okay,
iron belly using Congo.
peas, enzymen, More seeds that we don't have. There's green peas in that little, there's a jar in there. And that's where the other stuff was. No, in a jar, a glass jar. So the morel and the mushroom, we were asking, was there a separate word for morel? And I'm not sure whether we're going to get any feedback or not.
I got a phone call about it.
Oh, when it?
Neen,
Neem.
aloha.
Aloha. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, no, the phone wires were burning. People were trying to find the word for morale. I got a
Oh.
phone call too.
Right?
Oh.
Just found mushroom.
Mm. So it'll do, I guess it'll be just like the word for squash or,
No, mushroom. The word for mushroom, same as morale.
yeah, but squash, there were so many words
Oh,
that you
so
could
many
use it
words,
with.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was meaning. Yeah.
That's a good word.
So, there are fiddleheads, morels, and leeks that come out this time of the year. The leeks you can
Hold it up and.
oh, you do it. Can they see? It's so red. They grow in little patches. You can smell them, dig them up.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Lori likes to make leek soup.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
It's good. It's good just cooking them with steak too.
Don't get me hungry now. Want to get fiddleheads again? What was the cause?
They're very good too.
That's on an ostrich fern. There's all kinds of ferns that look alike, so you gotta know what you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And when they're small, get them when they're small.
So that's what, a couple of weeks?
Anytime now.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the thing when I think it's trilliums come out, then the morels and that are pretty well done.
Oh,
Yeah.
purple trilliums. When you see purple trilliums, the morels will be almost over.
oh, okay.
You might see orchard morels. Lobster's okay.
Yeah.
They're white.
Mhm.
Orchard morels. Uh-huh.
And to get on to a wonderful topic, when you go in the bush, you gotta look out for ticks.
Checkers.
I just had to throw that in there.
What do you go
Anishka
without?
Jin Kadmak leaks. Anishka Jin Kadmak leaks.
We didn't have
What did you call the leaks?
we didn't have a word for it, eh?
I've heard that they're the original onion. Chicago.
Yeah,
Some
me
people
too.
have tried to call them wild onions, but I've heard it said don't call them the wild onions because they were the original onions. So you call them Chicagoji.
Mio.
Okay.
Not the Bagoje, not Bagoje Chicagoji, just Chicagoji.
Zagabouji.
Really close to onions and leeks.
Yeah.
They're almost
They're the same.
Yeah.
Onion.
And same, yeah.
Okay.
Mio Chicago and Bijamama Payato. Mio Marka Japan. A skunk, that's why you smell when you out in the bush. Oh.
Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah. You wish magazine, you eat too much of that. Chicago's.
Well, the sugar. Singles. Stinky, but they have medicine in too.
Yes.
They're
Oh, yes.
heart medicine.
Oh, yes, they
The
do.
skunk.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
say if you got a high fever, you're supposed to peel an onion and put it beside your bed when you sleep, and it'll draw that It has a drawing,
Sickness.
yeah, sickness right out,
Mm.
and it does work, because I tried it. Yeah.
Just don't eat it later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bagida'waad.
In the wartime, First World War, my grandfather, Alec, he got shot and he fell. And they thought he died. So they come along, hit him with the sword in the face. So they really thought that he died. But he was in the garden. And then when he woke up, was it? It's like an apple, that onion, that saved his life. He came home from the war. Yeah. That's why I like eating onions like an apple. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and he has healing properties in it.
This reminds me, Audrey and I, we had a little bet going on who could eat a whole onion. I don't think either one of us did it. I think we bet 5 cents. Oh my gosh. Eat an onion.
How much payment is he?
Well, that was it for the examples.
Celery? Peppers?
No,
I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
Frank Kenzie.
no.
Meaning not getting in with you, you might be young. Like on you, Gigo Kamini. You would take us to you, you salmon, look for deer, partridges, whatever needs. You got content. Then we came in panic now. She says, damn knock. We diet you, no? That was our diet. We never ate bread. They didn't, mom didn't allow us to eat bread. It's not because give me some. You was asking. With them, what thing with them? Aha,
Well, I was just thinking of what gets children, young kids interested in gardening. When you actually do a little experiment, like you put those navy beans on a damp, it could be a
paper towel, yeah.
And let it just sit there, and then they wonder what's going to happen. And when that life comes out, that green comes out of that bean, and it's like a miracle. That's what got me going, and why I like fiddling around in the garden. The time we did that in school, I remember showing my dad, and we started, well, the grass, we didn't have lawnmower, right? But where there was a patch of really good green grass, we started digging that up.
Yeah.
I think I ended up doing most of the work. It was just a small little patch where we planted beans. Just this is something you can eat. You can actually eat.
Right.
Yeah, it felt pretty darn good. Yeah.
Next and then teenage because we go take on the corn. Not sure go any magic ton, People need tap no money on the corn. Pommy wet or the king of the engine, but mommy wet. There's excellent one. Not pitching go near picket a week ago. Physical Gimo, one that. With the button, the good physical
But you got to age it though, right? It's got, it can't be fresh.
About 3 years.
That burns.
Yeah, they used to get it, I don't remember my grandma ordering manure from a local farmer, and they would let it sit there. That thing would be really hot.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how long they let it sit, but her garden she'd have cucumbers that big.
Oh,
You
gee.
know, you think about cucumbers, you know, those long ones that they
Yeah.
have now, but they weren't that. They were the original cucumber,
Right.
and they were huge.
Mhm.
And I remember my mom giving us a story about they were waiting for the watermelon to ripen. And I guess the way they know it's ripe, they go and tap on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They tap on the watermelon, and they went to their mom. They said, "The watermelon's ready, we should pick them." "Oh, we'll wait another day," she said, "and they'll be really ripe." So they left it for the next day, and during the night it thunderstormed.
Oh, eh?
Great big thunderstorm, and it broke all those watermelon. It was just a sea of red out there, she said. Oh, they just, I don't know, the thunder
Yeah, yeah.
broke that watermelon.
So much water probably.
Yeah, so much
Mhm.
water in it. So, there's
Stuff,
lessons to be learned, I guess. We should, watch the weather. And I remember the boxes store, they used to go and help with the local farmers there, Sproswarney.
Okay, yeah,
Well, not a Bagida'waad.
yeah.
They'd go out there to the fields to help bring all the vegetables in, because, if they freeze, they're just,
Mhm. Yeah.
At those times, they said, yeah, you can't eat frozen, and they freeze. So they used to go and help, and we used to go along with them. They like go and help them bring all the veggies and the farmers that lived around the area.
Mm.
So, it's, and we had a garden. We always had a garden. But me, I didn't have very much space where I lived.
Yeah.
It was just nothing. And we didn't have the farmer that used to come out and turn the ground over.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He used to come out, Ernie Ball used to come out with his team of horses and his plow and turn the ground over for us, eh?
Oh.
Yeah. We didn't have, because we didn't have any
Cool.
farm material, like farming people, what they have. But he used to come out, he didn't charge very much. He'd bring his team of horses and the plow, and he'd turn the ground over. And then he'd disc it. He'd come back with a disc and disc it all up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was nice.
Mhm.
And he used to help too, like he used to live just around the bend there,
Yeah,
by the
town.
gully.
Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be no farmhouse, that's where they lived. And they had so many children, but they all, they all worked in
Mhm.
the fields or in what you call, so they helped us a lot, our community.
Mhm.
And even with what they call bolts, they used to have
Mm.
and cut these trees and down, and then they'd ship them out. He used to come and help take them out of the bush and with his team of horses
Yeah.
and take it to the road where they pick the bolts up.
Oh, wow.
I used to do that. My grandpa,
Yeah.
my call, 6 years old, 5 years old, working with them great big now, big
Yeah.
guys, eh?
Okay.
Hauling the bolts from back from Bagida'waad.
Mm.
Anishinaabemowin.
Oh, wow.
I think they're called Clydesdales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But we're big, you know,
big horses.
Yeah, they were workhorses.
Knapp you come over here, Anishinaabemowin.
Sorry,
Wow.
there are a couple comments from people that are watching. So
Sure.
one person wrote wild rice, Bagoji Minomen na. I don't know if any of you can see it on there, but it's in the Q&A part. I'm not sure what that means. So BGOJI-MNOOMINNA.
Wild rice.
Bagoji Minomen na.
Wild rice. Okay.
Well, we say
They were.
det var en annan. You guys not kan
Bagoji.
And then Liz
Liz also had a comment with the word for morels, or the words for morels. Liz, I'm going to allow you to talk. So if you want to be able to unmute, you can. And
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Josh Kwedoyan, Mage Josh Kwedoyak.
Yeah, Mio.
Mushrooms,
Right.
Miwa, morels, they can use the same word.
Hmm.
Morels.
Got that, Jen?
I misspelled the word and said morales, but it's morel.
Yeah.
Not morals.
Morals.
None. Did it none?
No, ask her to repeat it.
Can you repeat that?
Liz,
Um,
spelling of it, Marie, you want to show me?
Nishnabe Nikhil Mage Shalnashim Notswin.
No, Anishinaabemowin.
Anishinaabemowin.
Gado Wabandan the Chatna. CHAT. Jaush ZHASHK WEDOOYAN. Joshquedoyan, or some people say Joshquedoyak.
Yeah, Rush, just what's cooking up, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for, could be for mushrooms or morels.
Ah, Miguel.
Pigwetch.
Ah, Miguel.
She moved that.
Miguel, you know, own it, toin, you need to
Yeah.
go Sonia. Majangok.
Misa Nin Ejwebzian Kinegwal Majam Gat Mampi Tibong. Egwa.
Op de Excel get the matchmatadas.
Maga Bugajikajak got Tibajman.
Yeah, me and the single gale.
Yeah, Bugajikajak, Bugaji Minomin, Bugaji Anishinaabeg. So Bugaji is like wild
Okay.
rice. Bugajikajak, wild cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama Beauchamp, isn't it? Because it doesn't.
Mishke o podko kosh.
And get na sabgo. Is that a wild pig?
Yeah.
Yeah, up to now, spoke the English Mandani, medium, and go that toy. Meet the shop, Kilabana, the magic domin, the game. Ejim Napo, yeah. Pinic me, tap in the door with the Tigani. We should be in as well. Ejim Napo's hot here. You can taste that sweetness about them. Oh, can I go? You know, cheese acid. Can I some more? I take it.
Can I ask a question?
Mm.
Radish the same as
Radish?
radishes? Yeah, radish. You know that.
And then we just okay, bungi.
Is it the same word as
Wash like an onion.
she said? Or
Because it's hot. eh?
Yeah,
Ah,
it's very
yeah.
hot.
Sure, radish. Anybody know what the word for radish might be?
Elizabeth.
Gan ship. Give pedas non niganing mampi de bang. And not the way done.
What? Radish.
Cabin.
We used to call it cheese sense stuff. It's
Mhm.
something like
Yeah. Carrot.
carrot, yeah, cheese sense, like radish. So my mom used to tell us,
Stew
"Well,
cheese sense.
yeah, but it's really hot too, a radish.
Yeah.
Like pepper,
radish, G cents, or G cents.
Squidgy sense.
Squidgy says, oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
makes sense.
Probably because it's red, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, they will. Tam gibi yok mu? Biliyoruz. Yeah, the price of beans, celery, lettuce, all them things are very expensive in the store these days. Vad säger jag? Like, oh, what that told me could mushrooms, all that, celery. Tom wouldn't then know. I didn't know. Like, paying $5 or $6 for each head.
Yeah.
Got home, I got heck for it. Eh? Why did you buy that? They're only about $2, he says. Yeah, I almost found out what that frying pan was all about.
Oh,
Does anybody? Oh, go ahead.
But
Inondan morels.
Uh-huh.
1 pound would have chigaming $500.
shut the.
Yeah. I see
Wow.
them go that,
Spangdenon ko.
mm-hmm.
We're really gonna have to protect our bush.
You'll have to dry them.
yes. And they can them too. I seen them in a jar, mason jars. Morel, and I looked at the price. She's right. It was that high.
Wow.
Delicacies.
Yeah.
Delicacies for that light, that one.
Outrageous, huh?
Medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I cannot, but not here, no more when you're looking what's together. You'll be no Jesus me up. Never Jesus, I
Mhm.
Oh, maybe Jesus me up, you ask me, I don't know. She's walked up Jesus, people the question, what's going to do Jesus, eh? Me the sure, chicken what me are making. What's together, nigga making. Chicken what, no, and chip myself, chicken what. When it's not going to win mark, and can I go along with it? Yeah, Nimuk, causing us, can I go? One of piano, we could turn busy on the morning. We go up the nave, and with the comset, with motion. Better slow down. That's what that partridge is telling me when he walks in front of me in the car. So I slow down, listen to what they're saying.
And he isn't possible.
Pinna.
Pinna. Pinna the dog jeebus.
Pinna. Lie like a partridge.
Pet stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give it a giggle.
So does anybody save seeds?
Does anybody save seeds out there? No, there's up with them.
And nangud nung do shitchka. Ich bin herbs, mint, chives,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like onions.
Yeah.
You can boil your basil. I pick them early in the morning, and I wash them, and then I dry them for maybe a day, but I keep turning them till they're dry. Then I put them in jars, or I put them in a paper bag and dry them out and hang them up in my back room here in the dark.
Ah,
for about 3 weeks before I put them in a jar because they have to be all dried out, otherwise it'd go moldy.
Yeah.
Same thing with sage, because all of those too you can put in your food that you eat as well. Gawin do bashmin sige sigwa. Ganshit. Rhubarb, option do shigendan. We made yan rhubarb and so the boning.
Monsieur, Kakuji machine, how do you say that in Anishinaabemowin?
rhubarb.
Rhubarb. Does anybody know how to say that out there? Rhubarb in the language.
Zibuk, zilbuk.
Mikseo, yeah. Mikseo, yeah.
Zebuk.
How do you spell that?
Huh?
How do you spell that?
ZIIW
W
BAK.
B-A-T. Zeelbuk.
BAK. K is in kick.
Okay.
Zeal.
Zeelbuk.
Yeah, that zeal is the sour part.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
When you make that sauce, rhubarb sauce, it sucks your cheeks right in it.
I feel it right now.
I like that. Zubuk. No, my brother-in-law now, Jack, isn't because it talk to you on the note. No. Not going to get to. Je m'en dis que no.
Yeah.
Channel, yeah. Jack, because that's connected.
Mhm.
Good. Garden. I always liked his gardens. Oh, yeah.
There's a comment from Denise. So she said seeds from Kawasaman flowers,
Usman.
Gichi Ogun, ground cherries.
I couldn't make that out. What was that?
The second one was Gichi Ogun, GICHIOGIN, ground cherries.
What is that?
Do you mean tomato? Is that what you were talking about?
Ground cherries that are like kind of like tomatillos. You know how they have that there's a case on it that looks almost like a Chinese lantern. They're like a little tomato.
Oh, cherry tomatoes.
Well, they're ground cherries, so it's like a cherry tomato that they're smaller plants than tomatoes, and I think they're a South American plant, but they kind of moved up, similar to corn.
Look like red marbles.
Postman, flowers, open. Brown cherries. Okay, yeah. I see it.
What do you call Quistman? It's
Mhm.
pumpkin.
Denise, that mentioned that. I'm going to allow you to talk in case you would like to be able to unmute and say something.
Okay.
Kusman. I was telling you, Kusman.
See, that's for squash, cucumber, gourd, melon, pumpkin, watermelon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eshkadamo. Eshkadamo for me is watermelon.
Watermelon.
Okay, yeah. Ground cherry.
Mhm.
Yeah, Denise sent that for us, so they had said she'd prefer not to talk, which is totally fair. So I just was giving you the opportunity in case you wanted to. But thanks for sending the picture of the ground cherries. That's that picture I put up for everybody is what they look like.
Ogan Gijan Kadan. Ogan Gijan Kadan, yo Denise.
Oh, yeah, tomato.
Okay.
Okay. Ah,
Those are like little lanterns that grow.
mhm.
We used to think of them as lanterns, but I didn't know they were edible.
Okay,
Oh,
there are
wow.
all
Yeah.
kinds of them around the farm there.
All over, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, I thought those used to be peas.
Whoops. Just X
Go,
out of
go
there.
back.
X out of it.
Ah,
Or what are you doing? Yeah, back arrow. Keep moving.
oh my gosh. What have
Just
I
X
done?
out, you can see it. The back
You hit
arrow.
the act.
I can see it in the background.
Just
Okay,
X.
here we go.
In the Q&A, there's also a Ziriwbak, Ziiwbak, that Emily mentioned.
Zealbuck. Zealbuck.
Try to wave. It's all right. Just hit that little square. Hit the little square.
This one up here? I'm afraid it might just end the
No, no,
meeting.
no, the square.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Back open.
How do you get back in?
Back arrow.
I hear you. Oh, I see some.
Oh, Dave, we lost you altogether, I think.
Yeah, Gayabado noon.
Yeah.
Gayabado noon dan kinagego the budget them.
Doab magom ga.
Yeah,
Yaba doab magom.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
here we go.
Yeah, keep
We're,
shoving.
we're back in business.
Ah. That's good. Oh, you did.
Janet, don't touch
Wishka
that.
zaya.
We
Ah,
did. We did. No, we did get all
Okay.
over your mom
All
visit.
right.
Keep on busy.
No, you're saying about Zubok. Another spelling.
Right.
You know what you said? Another spelling for that Zubok?
Denise.
Huh?
We are mga kabadang gego.
Uh-huh.
Dio buck.
Zealbuck.
Rhubarb.
Eskadamo for watermelon.
We sour it when you eat that. Yeah.
Eskadamo, watermelon.
We want more than you just dominating. Chicken in the game. Mabasha David, the co-worker, rat for the bake, his cousin, my other brother Leon. Me or me, got some going on, yeah, watermelon.
Mm.
Up to you, museum, one cottage got. But then the quality, what in don't know now. Watermelons in the bushes. That the homeowner says, who planted those out there?
Check the girl.
Check the girl. Shock.
Oh, jeez.
Give me none.
Oh, we don't know. Give me Bin mazal. But you don't see that. We say we need to sing the law. Got a buzzer, but doing one underneath the gun. Not sure war. Meus van go na elk. You know the more. Monday we be wishing kid. We see you been more shit you that thing. Plow. You know, a team of horses, you put that thing around my knee, neck, shoulders. So I just hit that every now and then, or just go magic total na people must settle the me a can man you king me. You taking on you and the king. Chill give chan on grandma, me not my swine niche, hit them on. One for corn, beans, and the other one's for that knee. Regular stuff, meat, anything, cheese sense. You hooked the garden. gonna, Coffee and Lila. Okay, now you Kisning, Gipatin on Dawa. When she magic don't know. What journey, Kijing, he got no, Sneak cock. So, Bish, my tangled pressure. Yeah, man, senior. Or the Gurney, Nisaka, or below the church, here in the church, he could get all good amount in community garden, he can go to the up to the Nani, can you imagine it? Miss Odin, Skinaway, Kibai, Jawa, to Friday nights, but up no what to do. Among the highway, pumpkins, tomatoes. Still no, second kind now, and you can see now, you're looking with Magaswa, me, Jimmy, wouldn't you? Me see, we got in the senior, ni, kita well, got it to what? No, so what say you be all eastern the what you? Can you spoke this no? So no, Pongina. Just enough to buy seeds for the next season. That's all they were worried about. But that was good. Finish. Oh, taking a giggle. God. You don't. Seminar each time. Any departing words?
The old Bimuchke. I'll go and bow.
And you got a Canadian, no more to get.
Yeah. Where we go.
Nishensa.
We're singing not Canadian.
Mama Pig Woman.
How about my pinna woman? Must be. Oh, one. Sarah Narrow. Bye bye.
Before you guys go, you can't get away that quickly. You can't get away that quickly. No. You can think about one song before we leave, and we'll come back to it next week since we're talking about food. And I already gave Victoria a hint about it because she's the one that gave me the title for it. So you can blame Victoria. Old MacDonald had a farm.
Oh, we're gonna have to sing next week.
You'll have to sing next week. Old MacDonald has a farm. Lori, you're already laughing.
I think that means that Lori gets to do it.
We're going to do a round. Everybody has to do it. Somebody's got to sing about the cocoa. Somebody's got to sing about the bjicka.
Hey, we can do it.
So, until next week, we will look forward to that. That's how we'll start off next week, and then we'll see what else we get into. But yes, Old MacDonald has a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
All right, Poma Pig Walkman.
Come on.
Bamapi, until next week.
Mama P.
Vamos a ver.